Today's episode is brought to you by Happy Henry's Bomb Shelter Consultancy. In today's world, there's no telling how fucked up tomorrow will be, which is why you need to consider Happy Henry's Bomb Shelter Consultancy to get your next apocalypse shelter dialed in before the Ruskies attack. There's no telling what you need to be afraid of, but here are some of the possibilities. Ruskies, China, Guam, plague of insects, plagues of aliens, liberals, conservatives, centrists, plagues, bombs, hordes of rapists, hordes of whores, Christians, non-Christians, atheists, Bart Simpsons, and more? Happy Henry's Bomb Shelter Consultancy. We don't know what tomorrow may bring, but we can tell you that a hole to hide in can't hurt.
Hello and welcome to Horror Movie Talk.
An opinionated and accidentally funny horror movie review show. Go, 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 go.
I just had to stroll through the scraggly woods.
He had no face!
Horror!
Sabrina, don't just stare at it, eat it.
New theatrical releases always get priority.
But we also review older horror movies, both good and horrible.
Wow, that didn't sound good.
Hello and welcome to Horror Movie Talk. Your panel of expert hosts each week are Dr. Brian Henson.
Hey, wait a minute.
Who holds a PhD in spookology, and me, Professor David Day, the foremost expert in scare no-nos. Happy super duper belated Father's Day, Bryce. It's Father's Day. As we're recording, Father's Day is tomorrow. Mm-hmm. But as this is released, it's going to be like 2 weeks since then. So I hope all you fathers out there, had a real good time. Today, actually, we have for once on the show, we have a real doctor. We have Kate Thompson from Nightlight Horror Movie Club. How you doing, Kate?
Woo! I am so excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Okay. I'm gonna just keep it to this. We're just gonna have I'm gonna have a moment here, and then we can just move on from the moment. Kate runs Nightlight Horror Movie Club, and it is my favorite horror movie podcast, bar none, hands down.
Oh, stop it.
And that's why. That energy is exactly why.
Just 11 out of 10 all the time.
All the time. And I've listened to almost all of your episodes. I love it. I need more content. And I'm so thrilled to have you on the show today.
Oh, thanks. Well, just returning the favor after you killed it on our show. That was super fun.
That's right. You guys can find them anywhere. Go ahead and plug yourself, Kate. Plug the podcast.
Yeah, so we're the Nightlight Horror Movie Club. We're definitely a podcast, but we're also a little intimate. We're more of a club atmosphere. Consider myself a co-president. I do it with my sister. And we just had the absolute best time when David came on our show. Totally reached out of the blue, and now we're just like besties. He's like my new brother, and Bryce is going to be my new brother too. We're so excited, and it was just so fun for us because, as two sisters, there's a lot of female energy.
There's a lot of female energy over there.
There's a lot.
Yeah, the amount of knowledge I now have about musicals is
oh my God,
off the charts.
I was listening to a couple episodes and I was like, you guys have very in-depth nerdy knowledge about musicals. And I was like, this is all going over David's head.
It's
like
all
every single bit of it.
Well, it's not going over my head though. It's in a format that I enjoy, so I actually hold on to it.
David hates musicals.
He
told me, yes.
Which is,
but it's exciting whenever someone's like, wait, but Beetlejuice is a musical now? Like, I'm not going to watch it, but it's a musical? That's cool.
It is cool. And another cool thing you may not know is Horror Movie Talk has the very best community of any podcast ever. I don't know, maybe better than Nightlight Horror Movie Club. You guys can check that out over at our Facebook group. And you can find that by heading through our website at horrormovietalk.com. Did you have a website that you wanted to plug, Kate?
Oh my God, no, our website is trash. We're working on trying to make a website, but for now I've just like slid into your little community. So you guys might see my face pop up and making some opinions here and there.
Wonderful. And if you guys want to join us, we have second Saturday watch parties every single month where you dumb idiots made us watch Army of the Dead by Zack Snyder, and it was a total piece of shit. And the only thing that made it
oh my God
standable was all the fun chat going on the sidebar there,
and the fact that it was shitty, but at least it was spread out over the course of 3 hours.
It's 3 hours long.
It's 2.5 hours long, but
we round those up.
It feels like 4 or 5. Yeah, it's rough. We do post new episodes every single Wednesday.
The only thing that hits the floor of Zack Snyder's editing bay is his own feet.
Yeah, it's so awful.
There's no cuts made to his movies.
No.
We post new episodes every single Wednesday, so make sure to subscribe to us and toss us a rating on iTunes or iPodcast or whatever it is, because that really helps.
Called
us.
Apple Podcasts.
Whatever.
They're going to go to the wrong one if you don't say it right.
Okay. You can give us a call. You can give us a call at 682-253-4468, or you can hit the bodily fluids exchange at 252-228-4628.
We should just make that a sex line.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
We should just have that, so if it rings, like, we'll actually pick up. Like, hey, baby.
No one would. We'd get even less calls.
Tell me what you're digesting.
Today we're going to be reviewing.
I'm not good at this.
Today we're going to be reviewing 10 Cloverfield Lane. We'll start out by giving a brief review and our score for the movie. We score on a scale of 1 to 10. You know how 1 to 10 works. The only difference here is 5 is just totally average. That's a C film. After we give our score, we'll get into spoilers and take a deeper dive into what we liked and hated about the film. And later in this episode, stick around after spoilers, because we will be doing Horror Movie Talk Whores, and then also bad reviews for good movies.
Oh, dang, I'm doing that one on mine too.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Oh boy, hooray. So what we do is we find great, like tentpole horror movies that are just like the best, and then we go into Google user reviews and we read all of the 1 and 2 star reviews, and it ends up being hilarious.
What movie did you choose this time?
That sounds really fun.
What movie did I choose this time? I don't know. We could do Alien.
Okay, good.
Why? What do you got?
I'm gonna do Exorcist.
See, that fucks my shit up, because I've got one on The Exorcist that I've already prepared, but that's okay. It's gonna be okay. It takes like 10 minutes to prepare those things. Yeah, anyway. Who cares? So we saw 10 Cloverfield Lane, and I was reminded that horror doesn't have to be stilted and boring with a total lack of good acting. Sometimes it can feel like a tremendous whodunit that has layer upon layer of intrigue and terror. So without any further ado, let's get into the trailer.
There's been an attack. I'm not sure yet if it's chemical or nuclear.
Where are we?
Underneath my farmhouse.
Hey. Sorry about that.
What happened to your arm? Were you trying to escape?
I was trying to get in.
There's a woman. She wants me to let her in.
You can't tell her! You're going to get all the kills!
What was that?
Quiet.
How do we get out of here?
Is that how you thank me for saving your life?
Let me go!
So there's actually Another much longer trailer that I can't play for a variety of reasons. One is just more than half of it is a song. But I love this other trailer for 10 Cloverfield Lane. It is brilliant. I went on our Facebook group and posted on there, and I was like, "How you like this?" And everybody's like, "Yeah."
So I know what you're asking.
Seen the trailer.
Oh, really?
No, and I saw you post it, and I didn't watch it on purpose. But this is a movie that whenever I first saw it, so we have a $3 movie theater downtown, and I went to go see a completely different movie, and they were like, "Oh, we're sold out." So I was like, "Okay, I don't know what 10 Cloverfield Lane is, but I'll watch that."
Oh, that's the perfect way to get into this movie,
right? Yeah. And so so obviously, I mean, I'll give my rating in a minute, but positive thumbs up. And so everyone who wanted to watch it, I was like, do not look anything up.
Yeah.
Just watch it. Just sit down, turn it on, experience.
Yeah, exactly.
Now I know what you're wondering, which is probably the same thing my wife was wondering when we sat down. Do you need to watch the first 9 Cloverfield Lanes to understand what's going on?
Wait, there's more than one?
There's only one before this one, and it's Cloverfield.
Oh, well, you don't, is the answer. Yeah, I said I've never seen Cloverfield. But I've seen Cloverfield Lane, and
I haven't seen it either.
I don't know what the connection is other than. Well, I mean, we got to wait till the spoiler section. Can't spoil 10 Cloverfield Lane. But I thought Cloverfield was just about a big Godzilla monster, and that was it.
Kinda, yeah. I'll fill you in. There's a trilogy so far, and there's a J.J. Abrams has another one in the pipeline, supposedly? Question mark. 10 Cloverfield Lane can be found currently on Pluto TV with ads and everywhere else for a couple of bucks to rent. The synopsis for this movie goes a little something like: Michelle, played by Mary Elizabeth Winstead, is the victim of a car accident and wakes up to find herself stuck like a prisoner in a bomb shelter? Question mark. Henry, played by John Goodman, says he saved Michelle from the accident and explains that some kind of global nuclear event has occurred, forcing them to take shelter in his bomb shelter. Emmett, played by John Gallagher Jr., is also in the shelter and soon explains that he helped Henry build it. The shelter is almost as impressive as Henry's temper and paranoia. In the end, everyone gets more John Goodman than they bargained for.
Especially the viewer.
Especially the viewer.
Man, I love John Goodman.
Who doesn't?
Everything. That guy is amazing. And everything that he does.
He brings it. In
this, just thinking about his performance in this gives me chills.
Yeah.
It's
right?
Like, he's such a real person.
Very powerful presence. Contrast that with Mary Elizabeth Winstead, which I always forget who she is. I don't know.
How dare
I don't know what do people like follow her or know her, because every time I come across her, I have to look her up on IMDb and be like, oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. She's girl? Like a huge, like she was one of like the OG Manic Pixie Dream Girls. She's from like Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Right.
So she's been like a thing, like a nerd fantasy, but also very strong actress. So like there are people who are like very into her.
She's a great actress.
Oh my God, yes.
But she definitely, I definitely had no idea about her like cult status as an actress. Something happened.
It's like one of those where I've heard that name before, and I feel like I should know who they are, but I don't.
I feel like like the most boomery I've ever felt. Specifically starting with the release of Scott Pilgrim versus whoever the fuck, because there was such a weird like energy around that movie that was strong. It was almost like Harry Potter energy. And I was like, what?
Like intimidating.
Yeah. And I watched it.
An
and
intimidating fandom.
What is this? Who cares? Who the fuck cares? Like,
you didn't like
many
it?
People.
I love that movie.
It's fine.
I mean, it's not like, it's not
people.
something that I go back to all the time or anything, but it's a pretty great movie.
It's got that one girl from, that one girl that I like. I can't remember her name. So my review for 10 Cloverfield Lane is a freshman masterpiece from director Dan Trachtenberg, who has only really this film to his name, but has started production on the new Predator movie. So,
oh yes, Dan.
Well, he's been busy though because he directed The Boys.
No, he directed one episode of The Boys.
Okay, well, he's an executive producer at least, so I'm pretty sure he had a pretty big part in it, and he's involved with Black Mirror.
Is he? That makes sense.
Yeah, I'm really glad that I hope he had a big part in The Boys, because I know that's successful, and this was his first
and he was a key grip on Phantasm 4 Oblivion.
There you go.
So
he was a key grip. Mm-hmm. Damn, Dan. Yeah. What can you not do?
Right. So we follow Michelle's point of view and are given a glimpse into what it would be like to live through a global disaster of epic magnitudes, as if we need more of an example of that. The script unfolds in layers of mystery and discovery, always leaving the next question around a corner or outside the doors of the bomb shelter we inhabit with our lonesome trio. Henry is a profoundly interesting character, and John Goodman makes him come to life the same way Ted Levine and Anthony Hopkins brought Buffalo Bill and Hannibal Lecter to life in Silence of the Lambs.
Well put, yes.
Yeah, it's like Silence of the Lambs works because these characters are so compelling and scary and weird and real. Like, you believe that Buffalo Bill exists out there somewhere with a house and a basement and a pit.
Anthony Hopkins, like, not blinking. I don't know. I think that is the tier where John Goodman stands, which I haven't really thought about before, because most of the movies that he's done have not been like this. Like, I'm gonna be real, and this might make me sound like I'm 3 years old, but I hear John Goodman's voice. I'm like, Sully from Monsters, Inc. What are you doing here? What are you doing? And then this movie happens. I'm like, John, no, John, you're not supposed to be doing that.
What do you associate John Goodman with first?
Barton Fink.
Really?
Barton Fink.
Yeah.
Mine is Roseanne.
And he gives off big Barton Fink vibes in this, him as in Barton Fink.
Mine is Roseanne, the show, and then close second would be like Raising Arizona.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Or The Big Lebowski. Man, he's been in so many amazing...
He's in everything.
Every Coen Brothers movie ever made.
Yes.
Man, my voice is going to be shot after today. I'm already hurting. I love the way the Cloverfield series switches between storytelling mechanics, genres, and scripts with each successive movie, even though the Cloverfield paradox is kind of a hot mess. 10 Cloverfield Lane is by far the best of the trilogy, which includes Cloverfield, like I said, 10 Cloverfield Lane, and the third one, the Cloverfield paradox, which I think is a Netflix exclusive.
Wait, David, I have to ask. So I have heard that whenever I'm like, oh, I haven't seen Cloverfield, most people say, and I'm going to be just real, most people say don't bother. Is that true?
If you're a big fan of found footage movies,
I love found footage.
Then, it's kind of an easy night. It's like,
okay,
it's real jostly. Like, it's Blair Witch levels of camera jostle. So if you get like motion sick with that kind of thing.
Well, I didn't mind Blair Witch level jostling, but for some reason, when people describe Cloverfield, they act like someone's like drop kicking a camcorder the entire time.
I think it's also like a remnant of the hype behind it. That movie was thoroughly marketed to where it was like you saw the trailer about 1 billion times before it came out. And
That's true.
Expectations were high, and like they're like, what's the big deal about this movie?
Yeah. That's all that's fair, but I mean, just off the cuff, if I recall my last viewing of Cloverfield, I think I'd give it something like a 7 out of 10. It's that's
not bad.
Yeah, it's a pretty good movie. It's not, just go in expecting a disaster movie. That is,
I kind of am.
Yeah. I mean, a disaster movie, not a disaster of a movie.
A disaster of a disaster themed movie.
No. So
really,
it's okay. J.J. Abrams isn't listening to the podcast. He's not going to be offended.
I know. Well,
we're sorry, J.J.
I'm not sorry. JJ's done me dirty all over the place.
Sorry, not sorry.
Drew. Sorry, not sorry.
The way this movie deals with relationships, the terror of the unknown, and the incredibly thin veneer of society in a way that is so real that you just feel it in your bones. I love it. The problems that arise and the resolutions to them are practical, well thought out, and relatable. Every time Michelle sees a way out, she sees the dreadful terror of the consequences for her actions, and the audience is right there with her for the ride. I'm blown away that 10 Cloverfield Lane didn't receive any award nominations, especially considering the strength of Goodman's performance. I give this my highest accolades. This is a 10 out of 10 from me.
Did it receive no award nominations?
None.
Not a one?
Well, from like the Scaries or some bullshit like that,
Some backyard award ceremony.
Nothing from the Golden Globes, nothing from the Academy. Yeah, it's...
Well, like, horror movies are always snubbed, right?
Always.
Like, no one looks at them. I genuinely think that we need something that is like a movie awards thing that is specific to horror, because there are such gem performances in movies like this, and they just go completely under the radar.
There are plenty of like award show, like Fangoria and all these publications that hold, but the problem is they're not the big mainstream.
No.
I mean, the fact that Toni Collette didn't win for Best Actress,
what the hell?
That's just proof that they just have a huge bias. It's like,
yes.
Oh well, it can't win because it's horror. For a while on this show, that used to be a thing when we would intro things and we would explain our scale. We'd say, and 10 is so good that it transcends genre boundaries and should win awards, but it won't because it's a horror movie. So
yeah, exactly. And that's sad. That's so sad.
It is sad. What score do you give this, Kate?
Oh man, I know I can be hyperbolic at literally all times, but this movie is an 11 out of 10, A++, outstanding, no notes, chef's kiss. Mwah. Oh my God. Love John Goodman. John Goodman terrified me, fucking terrified me with his everything he did. I think I fell in love with Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Like, I was just fully in love with her.
Emmett is so compelling. He's such a cool guy. Like,
and it's three people. It's three people in a room, and it's so well done. I don't know who was in charge of casting, but Jesus, give them a raise.
I've heard that if you want to like write a script that actually gets made, like if you wanted to like start out as a screenwriter, like your best chance is to write a horror movie that takes place in one location.
Really?
So
because it's cheap?
Yeah, because it's cheap. And this is like an excellent example of like, this is not, other than the last like 10 minutes. Yeah. This is not an expensive movie.
No.
Well, I mean, I don't think John Goodman shows up for.
Well, yeah, there's that.
For nothing.
But even then,
do you know
it's
what
like
the budget is for this movie?
We don't do that.
That's a good question.
Really something we do.
Can I look it up?
You can do however you like. Bryce,
oh my gosh, I have to look it up.
What score do you give this?
This is a solid 9 for me. Like a
solid 9.
Yeah, I don't know if I like it doesn't stay at the top of mind for me.
The rewatchability does factor in. I was toying around with a 9 because I was like, on first viewing, this is such a stellar movie.
Right.
But
it's been a long time since I've seen it, so it was still it was great to revisit this time, and just to experience Goodman's performance again is amazing. Just the looks and the rage and like the redness in his face and like just the nervous tics are just like, Jesus, he's awesome. Like, he feels like a real person.
Oh, he's totally a real person. Like, you're a big guy, and I would imagine you would be fucking very alarmed if you were in a room with John Goodman acting that way.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Like,
but yeah, it's not a 10 out of 10 for me. Not that there's anything wrong with it, because it's a near perfect movie It's just I don't get excited about it.
You just believe that we can't have nice things.
Yeah. I just don't think we can have nice things.
Hey,
and the ending,
good.
the ending is like, I appreciate it. I like it, but also it's like,
oh no,
it would be better if they just kept it simple, you know? In my opinion.
Oh no.
Okay. I don't know. I think the ending is what makes it so that we can actually talk about it on the show.
True.
You know, it's like that's where it becomes. I mean, it changes from being like a suspenseful thriller to like a full blown horror. Like, whoa, gee.
Are you sure? So again, this might be like just from like the female perspective, but Nick, my fiance, I was like, oh, we're going to be covering 10 Cloverfield Lane. And he's like, well, is that really a horror movie?
Everybody does
And
this.
No, I think it's definitely a horror movie from the very beginning.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. So like whenever John Goodman shows up, and like, I know we're in no spoilers right now, but just his energy towards her, I was like, are you going to try to tell me this isn't I'm terrified.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
because I can just slip into her role and I am terrified.
I mean, I'm a dude and I
don't want to get raped by John Goodman.
There's so
personally
much nefarious, like it's the vibe he gives off is fucking intense, and
just it's Asperger's murder dad vibe.
Oh, dude,
yes.
like addled, questionable mental health veteran energy. Like,
man,
yes.
The part that's like the most disturbing about the relationship was the scene where they're playing.
The Santa scene.
No, yeah, basically that scene where they're like, girl, no, like
I
older.
I see you. Whatever you're doing.
She's a princess.
Little princess. It's like he just can't not see her as this weird, like
little porcelain doll,
segmented, like idealized. Ugh.
Yeah,
I don't think I breathed that entire scene.
Yeah,
little girl.
Child, a girl,
child.
Little princess.
Little delicate princess.
Oh my god.
Baby doll. I don't know. Woman.
He's like, you could have been more specific there, Emmett.
So this is all right. I hope my dad is not listening, but John Goodman in this role, and my dad is not to this level, but he reminded me so much of my dad. It was so freaky. So like the no swearing, no touching, be more grateful, which it's less creepy when it's actually your father, right? Like whenever it's actually your father and you're actually a child, not some random man who you're sharing a bunker with.
Right.
But like the no swearing, no touching, be more grateful. The prepper energy. So like a big part of this movie is John Goodman's character is this huge prepper. And like to the point of almost being smug when he's like, see, aren't you? I was prepared. What's stupid is building an ark after there's a flood. Yeah. And that is so Patrick. That is so my dad. So first of all, he's literally a prepper. Both of my parents are.
It can pay off big. It can pay off big.
You think I'm saying anything? Where do you think I'm going? I know where I'm going.
Nothing. I'm not saying anything.
Oh my God. But like we got chickens and literally they're like, we got these chickens. So if there's like a solar flare, if there's, prepper things happen, we can eat them. Well, that's not how it works. So now we just have chickens that come into our home that are named and are our pets.
What they don't realize is that solar flares burn chickens up like that.
That's little do those chickens know.
Ready to eat.
Yeah, I guess so.
They're good.
That's
they're done.
Well, let's now plug our favorite sponsor, nightchannels.com. If you guys need to put clothes on your body, this is Maslow's hierarchy needs here. One of those, somewhere in there, probably.
It's one of the baselines.
Is you got to have
shelter.
Clothes. Yeah.
I mean, clothes count as shelter. It's like shelter for your body.
Right.
If you're building a bunker, you probably need clothes in there.
Bingo. Yes. And you don't want to be caught in your fucking bunker with just any old clothes. You need, horror movie themed music, alternative music, black metal themed shirts.
In the apocalypse, the generations are going to rely on you for maintaining memory of the previous civilization. So if you want people to know in the future that Sallow exists,
that Chud, that you have watched and enjoy Chud, then head over to nightchannels.com and enter HMT at checkout, and that'll get you 13% off your order, and you'll be helping the show out in a big way. We do want Night Channels to stick around, and the only way they'll do that is if you people buy things from them and use the HMT code to get 13% off. So head on over there and support them. We really appreciate it.
If you've ever said, I wouldn't be caught dead in that, well, it's time to put your money where your mouth is.
There you go. Thank
Get
you.
some
Kate.
high aesthetic wear for your doomsday bunker.
That's right. Yeah, and the biggest thing with Night Channels is just hop on the site. I dare you. That's all you have to do. I dare you to get away from the site without seeing something that you're like, you'll be back. You'll turn your phone off for 15 minutes and then you'll pick it up again. You'll be like, okay, I'm buying the fucking shirt.
I know I went on there like when they became a sponsor. I was like, I should probably just buy a shirt.
Yeah.
Just to say I did, because you bought a bunch of shirts off of them. I was like, yeah, I should probably just buy a shirt. I go there and then all of a sudden I have like 6 shirts in my basket. I'm like,
okay, this is happening.
I can't buy all these. But with that HMT discount, it's completely worth it.
You can buy 6 shirts. That's right.
Also, if you're listening to these commercials, you should know that you do not have to. If you become a patron over on patreon.com/horrormovietalk, you can get early access to episodes and even episodes with no commercials in them at all, except for the commercials at the start, because, well, everybody needs to hear about, doomsday prepper, bunker stuff. So you get access to all kinds of perks over on Patreon. We're going to have Kate on for our afterpod. That's another perk that you can listen to, a whole nother podcast over on Patreon, that you can listen to after this show, where we, shoot the shit and talk about whatever we want, no matter how scandalous it is. And just FYI, people have discovered that we enabled yearly subs on Patreon, and now they get to save 13% on their Patreon payment to us. Is they sub for 1 year and they save 13% on their overall deal, and they get a screaming deal, and we get you guys to help support the show.
Yeah, I just want to thank our recent patrons. I don't think we've mentioned all these, but well, I should just say, like, 3 of them did that yearly deal, which is...
It's a screaming deal.
Is awesome. Taylor F., which was... Some of these people are, like, brand new to us. Like, I don't think they've reached out on social media before this. I might be wrong.
Taylor did.
Taylor F., Glittercore, definitely we know. Gissel R., I think he said he just started listening last week.
I can't recall, but maybe I can't recall.
And then Cat M, all joined our Patreon, and we appreciate you guys and all our existing patron members. It really helps us out and allows us to do more to grow the podcast. We've been advertising on some podcast platforms and Spotify, and it's really helping out, because the bigger the podcast is, the better we can make it.
We'll have to hit them up after the spoilers as well, because this will be cut out for them.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So also make sure to check out our resident artist, Dustin Goebel. He's a professional artist who fucks real hard. Head on over to his Instagram at Dustin, at dgoebel00. That's at DGOEBEL00 on Instagram, and commission him to do a piece of art, or just tell him congratulations on his new job. He's got a new job, and it's a real trendy series of bars and like a speakeasy that's like a $500. You have to pay $500 a month to be a member to get into this fucking speakeasy.
My God.
That has like a little like telephone booth in an alley. Like there's a couple
I want
these.
this.
This telephone booth in an alley with a rotary phone, and you got to key in your passcode, and then it just opens up like a little door that's like part of the wall. Like it's one of these things. It's a real hipstery kind of thing. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, super cool new job for Dustin. And please stay with us, Dustin. We love you, and please don't go anywhere. And if you'd like to get a hold of the show and tell us we're dumb, or tell us we're great, or tell us that we need to have Kate back on the show, you can give us a call at 682-253-4468. Thanks again, and let's get into spoilers.
Spoilers. Okay. You'd think by now I'd have like an ergonomic setup to where I wasn't like leaning over everything, that I could just reach things.
I wouldn't think that.
All right. Touche.
Kate might. She gives you the benefit of the doubt on that.
You know me.
I have no idea what he's doing because, again, he is a bodiless ghost of a person.
I could just turn it so you can just see my hand when I'm doing things. I can be Dr. Claw.
So 10 Cloverfield Lane starts out with just some shots of a girl, our girl Michelle, driving out into the country. And I think it's at night, if I recall. And then almost immediately she's...
Yeah, I forgot the entire like opening sequence of this movie. So she's like leaving her boyfriend basically and...
Fiance, there is a ring.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, she leaves the ring on the table. So she's going away from her fiance. She keeps hanging up when he calls and then gets in a horrific car accident.
Yeah.
Did you guys notice all the sewing stuff that she has around her room?
No.
That's something I picked up on second viewing because it comes. Is that another female energy thing?
I don't know about that. Bryce probably. Did you recognize it?
She's got like thimbles. She's got like a little mannequin. So like you can tell that she does costuming or like, what's the word I'm looking for? Clothing design.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just have attention to detail blinders on at all times.
Mm-hmm.
Some people call it autism. I don't know. So yeah, she gets into a big crash. She's apparently interested in needlepoint. She gets into a big crash and wakes up chained to a bed.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Within like in some form of, I don't know, I guess that's not called traction, but she has a brace on her knee.
It looks like, those images from like polio times when they had like iron lungs. It looks like a smaller one of those, like on her knee, but chained to a wall.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. The
iron knee.
Iron knee, only not as fun sounding.
Okay, so my wife and she told me I can keep this question as my own, but I'm choosing to say it was her question.
All right, that setup was completely worth it.
If you won't, well, you'll. I don't know if this is a great question or not.
Well, the amount of time we're taking on it better be.
If you woke up,
the suspense has been built.
I'm going to hit you second, Kate. But Bryce, if you woke up in a jail cell, handcuffed to a wall, would you be scared?
Would I be scared?
It's not such a bad setup now, is it?
Yes, I would be scared.
Okay. And Kate, would you be scared if you woke up in a jail cell, handcuffed to a wall?
I mean, I think I'm a pretty level-headed person. I'd be like, maybe this is fine. Maybe there's a totally fine reason that I'm in a windowless room, chained to a wall, and I'm bleeding. It's probably fine. Yeah.
Hard-hitting questions. This is what horror movie talk is known for.
That's right.
Is my wife asking these things?
I feel like I would be scared, but I would also almost immediately be like resigned.
Oh my God, that's so sad.
Really?
Yeah, I'd just be like, it would take me like a good 10 Mississippi and be like, okay, well, I guess this is my life now.
I don't think you give yourself enough credit. I think you'd freak out.
I think it would take a surprisingly small amount of time for me to adjust.
To adjust to your new normal.
Yeah.
To adjust. I don't know. I don't know how I would react to this. I'm pretty good in like moments of like real
You would be like a caged animal. You would practically rip your leg off if you were.
No, see,
and there was no context whatsoever. I imagine that you would go
and this is
crazy in that moment.
You've never seen me in an emergency. I'm very good in emergencies and in a pinch. That's I used to do this for this kind, high stakes things for my job. So I think but it's really hard to know. It's really hard to know how you would react in any given circumstance. But hard hitting questions. So there's this whole movie does this the whole way along. Where it's basically kind of got a bag over your head and just reveals a little bit more of your field of vision all the time in regards to what's the actual circumstances?
What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, and it's appropriately ambiguous to where there's enough of a question left open to where, John Goodman's character could have a point. There's a certain point where you're like, well, that's a possibility. He's still super nefarious. It's still well,
he's constantly redeeming himself.
Yeah, you're not comfortable with him.
Oh my God. But just like a lot of kidnappers do. You guys would get Stockholm syndrome in a day max. You'd be like, this man saved my life. I would admit he's a hero.
I admit it freely. After that,
oh my God.
Once once he slid that metal tray of breakfast over, it'd be like, all right, well, this ain't so bad.
Okay, new dad. Thanks.
I've got bad news for both of you. John Goodman is kind of the fucking good guy in this whole thing.
He is not. He is emphatically not the good guy.
If we're looking at the overall meta-ness of this whole thing, it would have been a much, 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 much better move for Michelle to stay in the bomb shelter with John.
Well, he was a murderer. He did murder someone exactly like her.
There's two sides to every story. Two sides to every story.
Her time there her days there were numbered. Absolutely under no. Even if I knew for a fact, if I leave this bunker with this man, let's say I leave this bunker with this man, I turn to dust instantly. I'd be like, get me the fuck to the door. No.
Wow. See, okay, now everybody just give me one moment. Just give me one moment to Steelman Henry's position in this movie. Okay, so you have a guy who has clearly put a lot of time and effort into thinking about this exact scenario happening. Maybe not this exact scenario, but a massive disaster where it behooves you to stay low, so to speak. He's got everything you need to keep yourself and apparently a couple other people alive for a long, long time. And in that scenario, if you're that guy, the last thing you need are two X factors walking around whose motivations are questionable and who you apparently have to worry about. They plot against him. They're getting ready to incapacitate him and take his gun from him.
As they should.
It's his bomb shelter and he's saving them from fucking Cloverfield monsters.
I am beside myself right now. Are you Team Henry?
I can see everybody's point of view very clearly, and I think I think you need to take a step back, is what I'm saying. Take a look at it from Henry's point of view.
Oh my God.
Granted, Henry has some mental health issues.
And granted, he is a multiple murderer.
Yeah, thank you, Bryce. Jesus.
Did he murder Megan? That's something we're not sure.
Yes.
Megan. So the Megan factor is one that you are leaving out.
Okay. Help me understand.
Okay. Megan, right? So the whole through the movie, he's like, Megan. And she's like, oh, was Megan your daughter? And he's like, oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, she's my daughter. And then Emmett, she sees the photo and Emmett's like, hold the fucking phone. Her name is not Megan. She disappeared a couple years ago. And then we get physical evidence of, we have an earring that we know is Megan's and we have her scratched out, help me on the window. And then I don't see Megan. Do you see Megan?
Okay. But that was an accident. We just panicked. We just panicked with Megan.
God.
And now, I mean, he's going.
He panicked before there was a problem outside.
Who knows?
He
what
was
happened.
just locking her in as preparation.
Maybe he saved her from a car accident.
Test run. Oh my God.
Okay, but the one last thing I'll say about Henry in his defense is he went weeks and weeks without doing anything like nefarious.
You hear yourself.
To them. Help me out. What do you think, Bryce?
Okay.
Hang on. Wait. Hang on.
I am.
I mean, the Nazis did make their trains run on time.
Thank you, Bryce.
Jesus.
Feel like I am taking crazy pills listening to you. Have daughters, David.
And I hope
you have daughters, and you'd be like,
I hope someone as nice as Henry would take them in an emergency.
Oh, thank God, that nice, sweet man ran the truck off the road and tied her down into a basement.
He's just misunderstood.
He's a little misunderstood.
Poor guy.
Well,
poor Henry.
We can all agree to disagree.
I guess so.
I will say the amount of tremendously powerful acid he keeps around. Now, I was thinking, what could he have that acid for? And it's probably for like.
Well, he mentioned when
for
he
Megan reasons.
Yeah, he mentioned that it could be used as fuel. But also for dissolving biological material.
Yeah.
Can it be used as fuel? You can just use straight up like hydrofluoric acid.
He said he needed to mix it with something.
Yeah,
else.
it's one of the ingredients used to make
a bomb.
Jet fuel.
Right.
So,
okay. So he might need some jet fuel.
I'm not here to
well,
question Henry's motive.
He really prepped that bomb shelter. Like it like turns into like an 80s cartoon to where the bomb shelter turns into a jet, can fly out of the ground.
Maybe we don't know. We didn't get that far.
Yeah.
Could have.
I mean, it kind of. There was a lot of explosions towards the end. It might have been it trying to lift off. So John creates this, or I should say, Henry played by John, creates this narrative where, Michelle, you got into a car accident, and I saved you, and I brought you here. Be grateful, bitch.
Yeah,
but also, I kind of ran you off the road. Oops.
Well, that's much later. We learn that. Much later, we do learn that, and this is how he continues to redeem himself throughout the movie.
Redeem himself?
Manipulate her is what he's trying to say. This is how he continues to manipulate Michelle.
But he's redeeming him. All I'm trying to say is he's redeeming himself to them, ingratiating himself to them, a little bit at a time. Like he just like gives them enough. You don't need to know You don't need to know about Megan except that she's a good girl. Like
that's right. Yeah.
You don't need to know who ran you off the road. It's just I saved you.
Let's not bicker and argue about who killed who.
Who killed who? Yeah. So he kind of meters out information to them as he sees fit, and it keeps we're really following Michelle and to a lesser extent Emmett, and so. He's kind of metering out information to us as well. So it's hard to know. It's hard to know exactly his intent throughout the movie, but his energy is undeniable. He has temper issues. He's a mammoth of a man.
So imposing. So just giant linebacker, scary veteran man.
Oh, when they're all sitting at the dinner. Okay, so there's a few parts in this movie that really that jolt me so badly from him. And the first one I think is when he says, "No touching."
Yes.
And you're like, what the fuck? Like it was just Emmett going to Michelle was tripping or something like that. She was like,
yes.
She kind of fell because she has a hurt leg. Emmett goes to like grab her arm to like support her. And Henry is like, no touching. Do not touch.
Yeah, there's an extreme amount of weird energy between Henry and his attitude towards Michelle.
Yeah.
Because it's...
bad daddy energy.
Yeah, he's definitely... It's never like explicitly said, but he's like, I saved you so you have to fuck me. Like,
do you think that's what it is?
I assume so, because like whenever Emmett like was getting attention from Michelle or getting, I don't know, maybe I'm off, but any time where they were getting closer or having more of a relationship or a better relationship than Henry and Michelle, he got super angry and protective and defensive and like, I know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I didn't get that. I mean,
really?
I totally see where you're coming from.
Well, one of my mottos in life is there's always a threat of rape. So
it's true. It's so weird that with my hackles raised for the entire duration of this movie, I didn't get that vibe. I got the vibe that he was trying to form a perfect little happy family unit, and that Michelle is his perfect little princess angel child girl. And here, like whenever later when he comes and he like brings her ice cream and he's like, oh, I didn't know if you wanted it in a cone or in a bowl. Like he treats her like she's like a little girl, and he's like, I really hope we can be a happy little family. He doesn't ever try to touch her. Like he sits across the table from her. I never get like this like lecherousy feeling. I always just get this feeling of you are my property. We are a family. Whenever that amount of energy and that like, it's basically like a fetishization.
Yeah, that word.
Fetishization. Yes.
Fetishizes like a certain relationship. In my mind, the only calculation for that happening is there has to be some kind of like sexual energy behind that, because that's the only source for that amount of like care around like making things like that happen.
I don't know, man.
It's like very serial killer vibes where it's like, oh yeah, they want a certain type of woman to kill. They have a type, and they want to like, you know, take their fingers or something, like a certain their signature stuff. Yes. And even if they're not like raping them or anything, like it's connected to like sexual energy or sexual like gratification in doing something to them, which in some cases is just murdering them. And so like,
oh, is that all?
So Henry's deal is like, yeah, he's got a thing. He's got like this thing that he wants, that wants to conform this woman into, and like where the energy is coming from, I don't know. From me, it feels very, very rapey and very fetishized. But I might be way off. Maybe there's just people that just really want to be a daddy.
I don't think there's a right or wrong answer for sure, but
it could be either way.
I think that his thing, I think the way he talked about Megan, it just seemed very much like, oh, that was like my sweet little girl. Oh, she loved Paris. She loved Parisian culture. And then also whenever like he's like, you need to go pee. No, don't flush unless you went, and you use the curtain, but I'm standing out here. That felt like controlling. Yeah. But he wasn't like, I'm going to watch you pee.
But the control could easily be the fetish itself. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know that there's necessarily a right answer, but because there was plenty of room in the movie for them to actually get him into that zone. Like they could easily shown that. They didn't, and that leaves it somewhat ambiguous. Sure. Let's just say this. For sure, Henry's got some fucking energy. Some vibes going on in that shelter. And they're not all bad vibes. I'll just say.
Oh my God, David, what the hell?
I love the what you call it machine. What do you call that thing with the music
the
in it?
Jukebox?
Yes, I love
when he's like dancing and they're like, that's like my favorite scene.
That's the Oh man, I could just watch that, him bouncing his booty in kind of a loop. It's just such strong dad vibes.
Emmett and Michelle just like, what the fuck on either side of him.
Yeah, it's great.
The little tour around the bomb shelter, that's like a very dad vibe.
I'm proud of this thing that I've done.
We've got some, if you like movies, we have some movies on DVD or video cassette.
VHS cassette.
Oh my God. The biggest dad move that he does. And again, this might just be my dad. This might just be a Patrick thing. But whenever Emmett's trying to talk to him and he's watching Pretty in Pink and he has to pause it and he goes like, and like pauses the movie.
Yeah.
Like, you're interrupting my movie. What? That was strong dad vibes for me.
Yeah, it's all such a real person. Like,
yes,
it's just I mean, they pick such a good person to set everybody in orbit around. You know, like the perfect actor for that.
Yes.
So, I mean,
you do not interrupt a dad's Molly Ringwald session.
You don't. You don't do it.
And that's a little bit of, I feel like that's obviously an intentional glimpse into like a little bit more of Henry's like, he's like, yeah, like this girl.
She is pretty in pink.
She is pretty in pink.
Oh my God, no.
So Michelle gets, no matter what, one thing that can't be argued, Michelle does not feel good about this. And so she's formulating a plan to escape pretty much all the time. Emmett is a kind of a passive actor in the whole thing. He expresses the fact that I was trying to get in here. Like, no, like there's some bad shit going down outside. I was trying to get in here. I helped him build this, so I knew it was here. That's why I was trying to get in. But eventually, not long into the movie, maybe at the end of the first act, Michelle makes a break for it. She grabs his keys, runs up the stairs, is out the airlock, or the first door into the airlock, and she's about to go outside. She's got John Goodman, Henry, locked out of the airlock, and she's about to go outside, and she sees the pigs, the mutilated pigs, that we're not sure how that happened.
No, I thought that was the
Well, he takes her to see the pigs as a threat.
Yeah.
Oh,
so he shows...
Good point.
Yeah. Oh, were they actually pigs?
They were pigs.
Okay. So he takes her and shows her, and that's how she understands, like, this is how I can get out. And then when she runs up to try to escape,
that's when
the woman comes with like the mutilated face.
Yeah, and she's similarly like abrasions and cuts all over her. She's not looking good. She's out of breath.
She's not looking good.
Not looking good.
She was injured real bad.
Yeah. And then, but more, her vibe was very panicky. It was like, you gotta let me in. You gotta let me in. Quick, quick, quick. It's not too late for me. I'm good. Let me in, you stupid bitch. It barely touched
me. I'm fine.
Yeah. Like, let me in, you stupid bitch. And she shifts. And it's like, oh.
Yeah. The turns in this movie are fantastic. Cause to where like the whole first act, you're like, okay, well, this is a crazy person holding them and like thinks that the apocalypse is happening when obviously it's not, since they can hear cars going overhead. And then she discovers, oh, wait, something bad is happening out there. And so that enters like the realm of like, oh, well, they're all resigned.
Yeah.
And then the next turn is when she discovers that, separate room where the other girl was crying out for help, where it's like, oh, well, something bad was happening before all this went down regardless.
Yeah.
So that's when she realized that's how she would have to escape again and then get Emmett on board, because she was able to tell Emmett like all these things. And so
God bless Emmett.
Yeah. And then it hurdles towards the end where, the inevitable happens, where she eventually escapes and Henry.
What did you guys think? Like, whenever you were first watching this movie, I didn't really catch the Cloverfield reference. I was like, that'd be weird if it was.
Right.
And I hadn't seen Cloverfield. So like anything alien, any true like apocalypse vibes, I wasn't convinced. And with the like, just like her waking up chained, I was like, no, there's no apocalypse. This guy's fucking crazy.
Yes, the first time through, I like, it was hazy at best, but it was like, what's happening? And Emmett does a lot to cement into the viewer's head that, oh no, shit's going down out there. Make no mistake. But then you're kind of like this is a big reason. I love being gaslit in movies or in media of any kind. And so it's strong. Like you could be like, well, Emmett's vouching for the fact that, but maybe he's in on it. Maybe there is nothing going on outside. Maybe Emmett's in on it, but he seems like he's really honest. And it seems like
And maybe he didn't see what he thinks he sees. Cause like at this point, she's like, no, he's crazy. And you can see it in her face when he's like, no, like I saw a red flash. And she's like, so what? You saw some lightning. Like, it's not a big deal. He's like, this wasn't lightning. She's like, it could have been. You don't know what you saw. Like.
Right. Yeah. No, it's the whole way through. You're just never, like I said,
certain.
You're never sure. The information just gets, you get a drip feed of it. But the whole second act is, well, it's kicked off by a montage where that's very fun, and I like it a lot, of them playing, life and and
love a good montage
and cooking food together and like bumping into each other and on their way in and out of the bathroom and whoops, it's a small space, and then. But she finds the whole second act is mostly her finding in a publication, some magazine, a way to construct like a hazmat suit of some variety, some sort of clean.
Well, that's her. She makes that,
right?
So she designs it.
But she gets inspired to make that she finds it in a clipping of some sort of survival.
She drew
magazine.
it. It was her illustration that she was referring to.
Oh,
because she's like a seamstress.
I see. I was under the impression that she got the idea from a survival magazine because she's constantly thumbing through magazine. Oh, yeah, she does because it tells how to make like a mask, a breather mask. Yeah, and so I think that gets the idea in her head.
Mm-hmm.
So she's they're coming up with reasons for why he might need to throw away the bath, what do you call it?
The shower curtain.
The shower curtain. And so she uses that, and she's like meticulously and carefully gathering resources to make this thing. And Emmett's helping her, and she learns, the way out. She learns more about Megan when she's forced to go into the rebreather area, the air filter area, because the air filter shuts off. And there's some evidence of Megan and some
evidence,
in particular, the scraping of help scraped on the inside of the,
and her earring,
yes.
And blood,
which is confirmed to be her earring because it's the same earring that's in a photo.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And she's wearing her shirt now.
Yes. Oh yeah. All this while she's wearing Megan's old shirt.
Guys, now that I'm going back through the movie, I mean, in my
maybe
mind,
Henry's not a good guy.
I think he might not have the best intentions because Henry's a huge man. And we know that it's very hard to get to the air filter part of this system. And so you need to be small. You need to be a small little girl or a child to fit
a little princess, one might say.
A little porcelain princess doll with sweet, lovely features. No, you have to be small enough to fit through the ventilation system. So maybe he just, I think it might be possible that he was just keeping Michelle around because he needed somebody small to go restart the air filter.
That
was confusing because it shows him trying to open some door that I assume
is the easy
led
access
into the same room, but I wasn't clear why he couldn't open that. Other than there was some
because they had to build it.
Yeah. Well, anyways,
it got stuck somehow, or I mean,
let's skip forward to the ending because that's like the capstone of the movie, basically.
Well, Emmett takes a fall for us, but it's hard to know how big the fall is going to be when we're dealing with it. So,
is it? It seems pretty clear what the fall is going to be.
Well, I mean, I guess. Do you want to? When do you want to walk us through it? I'm not.
Well, I mean, so Henry finds out what's that they've been working behind his back on something. Finds like the scissors and the duct tape and
what the fuck is this?
And
why have you been hoarding this?
Emmett takes the fall and says it was me. I was trying to make a gun, make some kind of weapon.
Did we mention the acid yet? Because that's kind of important.
This is all being done as an interview over the top of a giant barrel of acid that can dissolve a human body.
And he's taking like the scissors that they know that they know where he got those, that they hid those. He's like, well, I'm going to take, and he just dissolves it in the acid. Then he takes a pencil and he dissolves it in the acid. Yeah.
And so Emmett takes the fall and says it was all him, even though it was both of them. And he apologizes.
Well, he says it. He says the way he says it is important because he's like, I wanted her. I was gonna come get your gun. Like, he says way more than he needs to, and I think he does it on purpose
to make it
because
believable.
He knows what the consequence is. So he's trying to make him look as bad as possible, and Michelle is innocent as possible. So he's like, "Yep, I was gonna take your gun. I wanted her to respect me the way that she respects you, knowing goddamn well Michelle does not respect him. But he's like, oh, she respects you, and might want to keep her around. But yeah, I'm the bad guy here.
Yeah. So he apologizes, and you expect John Goodman's character to forgive him and move on. With strong dad vibes, and then he just immediately shoots him in the head.
Yeah.
Right in the fucking face.
And appropriately, Michelle is just thrown directly into shock. She's like, whoa. And he's, the whole time she's like dealing, like
spiraling.
Spiraling. He's holding her and being like, it's okay. It's just you and me.
Oh my God.
I cannot think of a less comforting thing.
Oh my God.
Than to be cradled by John Goodman in a bomb shelter while he says, it's okay.
It's just me and you.
It's just you and me.
We're
David,
gonna be a family now.
He's not that bad of a guy. I mean, Henry.
He's trying to comfort her.
That Emmett was a real loose cannon. You can't have those people inside your bomb shelter if you're going to survive.
God, I loved Emmett so much. I was so upset.
I'm just glad Bryce is starting to see like reason.
So anyways, Henry discovers that Michelle was making this hazmat suit.
Right.
And that's what triggers like the end chase scene of her escaping the bomb shelter and basically leaving it a burning wreckage for Henry to burn alive in. I love this. I love the chain of the series of events, and I'll just do it real briefly because so she knocks over the vat of acid, and it dissolves everything in its path. It's just working its way out the way liquid does. It's dissolving carpet. It's dissolving, anything that it touches. And one of the things that it touches is the cord of a lamp, and it obviously dissolves the exterior coating, the plastic between the negative and the positive, and that boom. And we already know this stuff is used as jet fuel, a part of jet fuel, so it's probably pretty caustic and flammable. And so that starts the fire, and then Michelle makes her way under extreme duress through the vent and eventually out into the apocalypse that is the Cloverfield series. So alien invasion. Yeah, that's the best part of the movie is the reveal of like this alien shit turn around
double reveal.
And then she's like, oh fuck.
Because she comes out, she's like literally trying to melt John Goodman and trying to army crawl in a hazmat suit through the vents while he's stabbing a knife up at her, and she makes it through, and her suit tears, and so she's freaking out again, trying to duct tape her suit because the air is caustic. The air is caustic.
When she tears her suit, and you feel this panic too, because you're like,
oh my God,
no,
I held my breath.
She's like taping it up so fast, and then
the geese.
Yeah, the geese, and you see the birds, and you're like, wait, the birds are fine. They're just flying.
So you're
around.
Like, oh shit. Maybe it's not. Maybe it was just
birds are usually
attack.
Yeah, birds are usually the canary in the coal mine.
Usually
in these situations,
because their air sacs are so sensitive. Like,
okay, this is what Kate does. She's a vet.
Oh, yeah.
So she would know. Tell us about the bird.
I would know. Yeah. So literally, birds, like if you overcook eggs on a Teflon pan, you can kill birds. Like, and if they're in anywhere near the same room.
I've done it many times.
And he never learns, guys. Never learns. So like her looking up and seeing those birds, and she's like, how many times can I be bamboozled? Like, is it the air? So then she takes her mask off and she breathes and she's like, okay, I guess everything's fine. I made this suit for no fucking reason. Emmett's dead for no fucking reason, but I'm alive and everything's fine.
It's fine and dandy. And then boom, the alien ship, the bomb shelter explodes because of the fire within. And this draws the attention of an alien ship that promptly chases her and sprays, terrible caustic gas all over the place. And now we need to get back.
Now we need the helmet.
Got to get back in the car.
I just love when she's like on top of the car looking out and she sees the alien ship and she's like, you've got to be fucking kidding.
Yeah.
So what is the connection? What is the connection with Cloverfield? So Cloverfield has a giant like Godzilla monster.
No, spoilers for Cloverfield. It's an alien invasion.
Okay.
There are large. Remember, did you ever see The Mist?
No.
Okay, well, there are large insect-like alien invaders, and so this is part of an alien takeover, kind of.
Well, why? Like how much of Cloverfield is like a giant monster?
Specifically Clover. So this is the kind of the cool thing about the Cloverfield series, in my opinion.
Well, I'm talking about just the Cloverfield movie, just the first one.
Right. Yeah. I mean, mostly it's one big monster, but there are more. There are small ones
in that movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So okay. So there is an alien invasion element in there. It's not just
Is it one big bad, or is it just like the invasion is the big bad?
Right. So in Cloverfield, it's from one camera's perspective. So it's kind of centering around the experience of this guy who's within very close proximity to a very large one. Right.
Okay.
But
I see.
There are bogeys around, so to speak.
Okay. Okay. So that fits with this.
Right. It does fit with this. But the cool thing is the first one's found footage. This one's like a total like character driven like suspense thriller. And then the third one, while poorly executed, is an attempt at explaining the whole thing. Explaining like how they got here, why they're here, and it's shot from space. So there's all these, it's like a bunch of different perspectives. All the movies try to be a vastly different perspective than the others.
Like that.
It's kind of cool. Don't watch you could try and watch the Cloverfield Paradox. It's a real shitty movie.
But I should watch the first one. Like it's worth a viewing.
I like it. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
But different strokes. So, Bryce, who would you recommend this movie to?
Anyone that likes like really character-driven thrillers. Yeah. This is great. Or just like kind of mindfuck movies.
Oh yeah.
I think like stuff like Frailty. I mean, Room is a little on the nose.
Ooh.
But yeah, stuff that's very intimate with a couple characters that it's questionable whether they're gaslighting or whether it's really going on.
Misery. Yeah.
Take Shelter is another one.
Yeah.
Like, if you like those types of movies, you're going to love this one.
Yeah. What do you think, Kate?
Really, anyone who has a good taste in movies is going to like this movie.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. Different strokes, but I will say, like, if I would tell people that you do not have to be a fan of horror movies to like this movie.
Uh-huh. No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think you do. Like, I fully and wholeheartedly consider it a horror movie, but I don't think you have to be a horror fan. I would say anyone who likes dialogue-driven movies and can appreciate character development and relationships in horror.
Yeah, and it's breezy enough. Like it is very easy to digest for general audiences. So, like,
yeah, my wife watched this one, and she's notoriously bad at being able to watch horror movies, and she made a great observation, which was, it's like a good version of Signs.
Whoa!
How dare you? First of all,
so do you not like Signs either, or is it just Aaron?
No, I like Signs, but I mean, in terms of like
Yeah.
cohesion of like the premise and the plot and the payoff. This one is much better than Signs.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess. Okay, this is fair. That's fair. Swing. I don't think there's been an episode in recent memory where we haven't said "swing away."
Yeah.
Oh no.
I love "swing away."
I do too. That's a line that people use to be like, "See, it's such a bad movie." I'm like, that makes me weep. What are you talking about?
That was before Joaquin kind of did his whole like, I'm turning serious / crazy now.
Yeah, that was pre gum chewing Joaquin Phoenix,
and before Mel Gibson lost his goddamn mind.
Oh shit! Yeah, everyone in that movie.
What did he kept saying? He's like, "Suck my dick, bitch," or something like that.
Mel Gibson?
No, he wasn't. He wasn't.
He was so anti-Semitic to a cop.
But specifically, what I'm referring to is that voicemail I can't remember what it was that he left to his ex-wife, where he's like, "You should be sucking my fucking dick," or something.
Was
like
that Mel Gibson?
Oh yeah. I
thought that was
How the Mighty Have Fallen.
They used to play it on Adam Carolla all the time.
Yeah.
Anywho. Yeah, great movie. If you haven't seen it, you should. I think Bugsy Siegel would probably say that this is pretentious. That's my guess. Prove me wrong, Bugsy. Prove me wrong. With that, let's get into horror movie talk. How'd you like that little montage?
Oh my God, I love Danny DeVito so much. I just love every time you do that. I'm like, yes.
Give me one moment while I pull up our voicemails. Talk amongst yourself.
I didn't. So your wife doesn't watch horror movies?
No, it's kind of. I've been able to convince her to watch a couple, and there's no rhyme or reason on what I can get her to watch, because she's definitely seen scary movies before. She just is really, really not into the feeling of being scared. Like, suspense is not her thing.
That's a big part of it.
Yeah, she just really, really hates that. She's like, it's very uncomfortable. I don't like it. Why would anyone want to do that to themselves?
Why would anyone like that?
That's how Chris and Emma,
yes.
both Chris is a previous co-host of Nightlight Horror Movie Club, and Emma is the current co-host, and both of them are not fans of horror movies. And it's one of my favorite parts about it is that aspect of forcing someone to do something they don't want to do, just like John Goodman.
Really doesn't like it.
See,
go pee now. I'm not looking. I'm no pervert. Come on.
Oh my God.
I just like anything that makes me feel anything. Yeah.
That's so nihilistic and sad.
Well, that's a good way to get into our next segment. Well, these people will definitely make you feel something. You guys, if you'd like to get a hold of the show, you can do so by calling 682-253-4468. First up, we have CJ, who I believe also left us a bodily fluid. So let's see what CJ has to say.
Do I need to mute?
No.
Okay.
What up, boys? This is CJ from Massachusetts, about an hour south of Boston, right on the Rhode Island border.
It's very
so
specific.
In the latest episode, with The Conjuring, the devil made me do it, you guys talked about the family from the original Conjuring movie, and you kept pronouncing it Perron. It's actually pronounced Perrin, and every time I heard you do it, I wanted to rip my ears out. So I've actually met the Perrins from, like I said, the same area, and
what?
They're pretty prominent. They go to a lot of paranormal conventions out here and all that kind of stuff. So I've met Andrea Perrin, Roger Perrin, the father, and Andrea Perrin being the oldest daughter. And anyways, yeah, just wanted to correct you on that. Keep up the good work.
I'm such an idiot. Well, such an idiot. I should have known that because, you know as well, Kate, the famous musical about Evita Perrin,
What?
Right?
Evita? Is it Evita?
Isn't it? Yeah, it's Evita Perrin, right?
I don't know.
Evita Perrin?
Is that not right?
This is flying way over my head.
Is this a musical?
You've never heard of Evita?
No.
I thought you were all right.
With Madonna?
I thought so too. I'm looking. Oh. I'll be goddamn.
I would
all right.
I would like to say that this is, listen, if you...
There's nothing that bothers me more than one of my failed jokes.
It's a
too.
musical about Eva Perón, like Hitler's Eva Perón.
No.
Evita.
It's Evita from Argentina.
Oh,
Don't
from Argentina.
cry for me, Argentina. Listen, horror movie talk listeners, this is how you deal with a problem with the show. You don't get on iTunes or podcasts and give us a fucking bad review and be like, you man up like CJ did. You call us up, you tell us, hey, I wanted to rip my ears out every time you guys fucked up. And then
cathartic.
And then you say, good day, sirs. And CJ, I love you, buddy, and I appreciate you not taking this out on
I'm sorry. I mispronounced the mispronunciation of the last name Perón.
Well, you got to take it. Okay. So I guess they go to. I wonder. Geez, sounds like they're kind of benefiting from their fame as having. I wonder if the ghosts were real. They're going to like paranormal conventions and stuff.
Have you guys like looked up the the quote unquote true events behind The Conjuring?
No,
must be a short book.
Yeah, it's not that compelling. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I mean that's what it comes down to is like once you see the real people of like this is what really happened. You're like, well, that's an eminently not reliable person to listen to.
Yes.
It's like if you met that person as a family friend, you'd be like, oh, crazy Uncle Bill. Yeah. He's always thinking shit's going down.
That's right.
Like no one believes that guy.
We don't pay attention to him.
And then all of us,
we don't talk to him. He's fine.
For some reason, like these people get movies made about them.
Well, there's nothing more interesting than crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Here's our next caller is our boy Jason.
Hey, HMT, it is Jason, and I just got a good question for you. Can I get a hell yeah?
Hell yeah? Is that what that is? What?
That sounded like a hell yeah to me.
I don't know what that is.
Wow. I guess we don't have any Zoomers on this call.
What's happening?
It's a meme where it's like the closest thing that would be to it would be, have you ever played Marco Polo?
Sure.
In a pool?
Yeah.
So someone's supposed to call out, can I get a huh yeah? And you're supposed to do like the porn groan of huh yeah.
That's a thing?
Okay. That's a thing.
Oh my gosh, I'm learning so much today.
This is why you get TikTok. All this stuff is on TikTok, David.
Oh my gosh. I thought I have TikTok, and so I thought I was cultured, but clearly I am behind the times.
How pervy is your TikTok algorithm, though?
See, yeah, I think mine protects me from that stuff.
Are you
Mine's
saying
like, you want more cats? Here's more cats.
It helps to have a very pervy algorithm to be in on the memes.
Clearly.
Mine is mostly presenting me the dregs of society, not necessarily the hot preteen dancers. It started out with the hot preteen dancers.
It always does. That's the default start out algorithm.
And then
TikTok.
You make your way through and you curate.
Dude,
you have your wife sit next to you enough times to like force you to skip them, and then all of a sudden there's less pervy material.
Ah, okay.
That's the secret.
Oh, good secret.
Browse TikTok next to your wife.
So here's our next caller.
What up, boys? Got the list.
Huh?
What the fuck was that? Sorry. Forgot to mention in my last message.
Oh, this is CJ.
That you guys need to get yourself out to the Conjuring House out there in Rhode Island because they are open for tours. So go ahead and fucking book it. Book yourself a date, come on out, have a good time. We also have the Lizzie Borden house out here as well. So if you want to see what an axe murderer's house looks like, come out to Massachusetts. All right.
Thanks, CJ.
A lot of murderers on the East Coast I'm catching.
I don't know anything about Lizzie Borden, except the name is very familiar.
She's a famous murderer.
Okay.
She murdered her parents. She axe murdered her parents. Lizzie Borden had an axe and gave her parents 40 whacks.
Oh, well, there you go.
She's
so
got
I was wrong.
A movie.
Ava Perón. That's a different spelling from parent, so I must have been.
So it's not Evita at all.
Well, her name is Ava.
Oh, okay.
But they called her Evita.
Oh,
because they're Spanish.
I gotcha. Sounds like
I'm just so thrilled that I come on to you guys.
You've never heard "Don't Cry for Me, Argentina"?
I didn't know that was from a musical. I had and it won a Tony. I'm looking at it now, and I'm like humiliated. I just got schooled.
This is just
by
like
Bryce in
musicals. I think there's like a gap. Like my musical knowledge ends at like late 80s, early 90s, and then has spotty gaps since then.
Well, listen, Kate, it's okay. I hate musicals. Bryce is a professional vocalist. He's
the kind that doesn't get paid for it ever.
No, but he has a heavenly angel voice and definitely knows a lot about singing and singers and all that.
That's so cool, Bryce. That's amazing.
So
it is.
So not knowing things, he's well versed in musical, stuff.
So you'll talk to me about like Andrew Lloyd Webber and how his stuff has become derivative and.
Yeah.
Amazing. Oh my God, I'm so happy right now.
I feel like I'm in a room.
I mean, what's the last thing Andrew Lloyd Webber's made?
Oh, he's still rolling around in his money dollars from that horrible Cats movie. So.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Oof.
Lest we forget.
Man, if you want to talk about, I'm telling you, Broadway, low key, one of the best ways to make money in the entertainment industry.
Really?
Like some of the richest people in entertainment are like
they're all
producers or composers. Like
so much so that there is a musical about producers.
Yeah.
Right.
Did Mel Brooks write that? No.
Yes.
He couldn't have. He wrote
the producers.
Mm-hmm. The Broadway?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
no,
yeah,
he's directly
has an EGOT, yo.
Yeah, he's directly involved with all of those musicals that are based on his films.
I'll be darned. Huh. Well, you learn something
and
every day.
And he's still alive, I'll have you guys know.
Yes, he is.
Yeah,
he is 94, but he's doing great.
But Carl Reiner died.
Mm-hmm.
It's very sad. Rip in peace.
We're going all over the place. What's the next voicemail?
Yeah, speaking of going all over the place, here we got Bugsy.
It's your boy Bugsy. What's up, all you horrors listening? Anyways, just got done. Well, I got done listening to your podcast about The Conjuring 3, the review, but I just watched the movie like last week. Anyways, that's a lot of demon cum, on that floor. I mean, God, it soaked all the way through. It's funny, me and my buddy watched it, and it is kind of crazy. That was our first thought, like, God damn, this movie, the fucking so scary is water damage. Like, holy fuck. And Dave, I noticed those CGI rats as well. Like, shit bothered me too. Like, I hate horror movies, or I hate any movies really that have a budget. And then it's like, where the fuck did the budget go? Like, especially when, like, I was watching Saw, I want to say 3 last night. It was Saw 3 or Saw 2. And it was like, probably Saw 2 maybe. Anyways, dude was like in a photo with his son, and you could tell it was just so fucking photoshopped. I'm like, if you're filming a movie and you have millions of dollars, how fucking hard is it to take a picture with, like, have an actor take a picture with another actor on set, have it fucking developed, Seed of Chucky style, have Chucky fucking develop it if you have to. And just, I don't understand. How the fuck can you not take a picture? Like, why are you going to Photoshop? And then, like, if you are going to Photoshop it, make it fucking good. Anyways, I always listen to you guys when I'm out working. I've been slacking the last 10 days. I paid my rent, but, I do Uber Eats for a living. I just didn't feel like fucking working. But anyways, much love, B&D, try to keep the demon come off you. And you guys have a point. I mean, being Christian does seem like you get haunted a lot more. I'm Catholic, so I just gotta worry about, the priest or pope. Or
of course, Bugsy's Catholic.
Looking for a podcast?
Hang on. Of course he's Catholic. Okay, hang on. We're gonna finish this. Hang on.
Sticking it in the wrong hole.
There's more?
Not welcome, but much love. Always a pleasure. I'm about to make a delivery, and if I miss it, this person's gonna bitch me out. So I'll talk to you guys later. Much love to all my whores that are listening.
Okay, so
lots to unpack here.
That was the briefest message Bugsy has ever left. It was also the most coherent.
Right.
He stayed on topic the whole time, and you always know that you only have 30 seconds left in a Bugsy message when he says "much love," B&D, wrapping it up. We're gonna get the as soon as he says "much love," you only have a minute or two left.
He's totally right.
Oh, yeah.
$39 million budget and CGI rats.
I was so disappointed by that.
I know.
How dare you?
Just refer to the classic horror movie Rats to show what you can accomplish practically with rats.
They had so many fake rats in Rats. It was unbelievable. Remember that army?
Yes.
The
wave where they just were pulling a wave of rats over a sheet.
A little rug of little stapled down rats. Okay, we had a year ago we had so we have this one fan from Sweden named Magnus, and he's been listening to the show ever since it started, and he will occasionally get this bee in his bonnet, and he'll start these grassroots efforts where people we don't like watching bad movies. We don't like it. Some horror movie podcasts are just all about them. We hate it. Magnus was like, "You guys gotta watch this shitty, horrible movie from Italy, and it's called Rats, and it's horrible, and you gotta watch it." We're like, "No." Finally, months and months, every fan we had was like, "You have to watch Rats," and finally we did it, and it was such a piece of shit. I'm
writing it down right now. I'm gonna watch it.
It's from when was it? This is seems like
70 something.
Seems like it was
yes.
Or 60s.
74. It's called Rats Night of Terror.
Mm-hmm.
Night of Terror. I'm writing this down. I'm watching it.
It's a really good bookend to 10 Cloverfield Lane. Very, very similar endings.
Oh yeah, that. Well, we're not going to get into it.
We don't want to spoil Rats.
I'm going to watch it.
You got to spend the whole time. You got to earn it. Yeah.
And by the way, CJ, you said we should come out to the Conjuring house and check out that. I'm not going to do that.
I've been dying to go out there, but no one will go with me.
It's hard to get me to go to the park with my kids. So no,
right.
It's not, it's nothing personal. It's just I'm a very lazy man. Dude. Okay, so Kate lived in the South, and you had this one episode where you described going to Universal Monster Halloween shit.
Halloween Horror Nights.
Oh my God. This sounds like the most fun in the entire
Holy
world.
Shit. It is so dope. We go every single year. It is a pilgrimage. It is amazing.
I want to go to one of these so badly.
Okay, if I can get your lazy butt to come down to Florida, let's do this.
I would love to.
Yes!
What were you going to say, Bryce?
We had a listener in the early days that did makeup for Six Flags where it was a similar thing.
That's
where every Halloween they did a haunted house.
Like a fright fest.
Yeah.
Oh, love it.
Okay, we got 3 more voicemails to get through here. Let's go.
Hey, guys. So I don't really have much tidbit of information for you this week. I did just want to say I was rewatching The Shining this weekend with a friend. And I guess I just hadn't seen it in a while. It's been about 2 years, but I can't believe how fantastic Jack Nicholson is in that movie. Every scene he was in, I was just in awe. I can't believe his level of acting in that movie. It's so fantastic. So, I just want to know if that's ever happened to you guys where you just haven't seen a movie in a while and you're just blown away by how amazing they are. I mean, like I said, I knew the movie was great, but I guess I forgot how fantastic he was. And I haven't seen Hereditary in a while. It's been about a year for that as well. So I feel like once I watch the dinner scene with Toni Collette, I'm same thing. I'm going to be completely in awe of how fantastic she is. So that's all I got. And yeah, good day.
I mean, that's what it was like on 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah.
Just reminding how good John Goodman was in it.
100%.
Yeah, let's see here.
I mean, Jack Nicholson, like, he basically carries that movie, and it's probably really the reason why it's classic today. Because, like, that's...
Well, what's her face?
It's just the most enjoyable thing to watch in that movie is him go crazy.
What's her name? Shelley Duvall.
I'm Shelley Duvall.
I'm Shelley Duvall. I'm Shelley Duvall. No, she's spectacular in that, too.
She's amazing.
I don't know if I rewatched Dr. Sleep. I don't know if I mentioned this on the podcast, but it's on HBO Max, the director's cut. That's why I rewatched it, because I wanted to see the uncut version or whatever. And it is, from what I can remember from the original version, like, they restored a lot of stuff from the book that was left out, and it was a lot more in depth, or it felt like it flowed better than the theatrical cut. And that's a movie that stands up real well. Like, the villains in that, and just like the intensity is very strong.
That was such a spectacular movie. It was just an adventure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad this question got asked, because recently I went back through for the first time I went through Back to the Future, and that was just a blast.
David had never seen Back to the Future.
I just watched it this year for the first time.
See, there's dozens of us.
Who are these people?
But the thing I really wanted to mention was I went through Indiana Jones, and I don't know how anybody can deny Temple of Doom. Temple of Doom is so good. It is like the last hour of that movie is one big, like, continuous action sequence, and it's so dark the whole way through. It's like, ugh, like, this is creepy and weird. It's just the best action movie I think I've ever seen. Temple of Doom is my favorite of that series. So
yeah.
What about you, Kate? What did you have you seen anything lately that made you go, oh, yeah?
I haven't seen Indiana Jones, I hate to say.
What the fuck?
I don't, guys, I am so sorry.
You should do yourself a favor. It's a blast.
Does it hold up?
Oh my god!
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Yes,
it's not
absolutely.
just nostalgia. Okay.
Oh
yes.
yeah.
I will definitely go back and I'll watch it.
I mean, we're talking Steven Spielberg here.
Yeah.
Like, it's not
okay. Like, he's made literally every movie from like 1970 to present day.
Correction.
Yeah, every good movie.
Good movie.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right. Gremlins goes pretty hard.
He didn't.
No, I mean,
Gremlins
just listening
was
to that.
what was Gremlins?
Joe Dante.
Joe Dante. Yeah.
Oh, Joe Dante. Okay,
but it's got Spielberg stink all over it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he did the same thing he did with Poltergeist, which is just like, I did it. I did this.
I did this. I made this.
Yeah, I made this. Okay, next caller. Oh, yeah.
I'm listening, and I will you guys are doing.
Nope. Sorry. You don't call from Tatooine. Okay, next caller. Last caller.
Hey, David and Bryce. It's Ian. You guys recently both brought up movies.
Okay. Now I'm gonna let you finish. Sounds a little inebriated. We don't get an intro as to who this is. Maybe for the better.
It made me think about a debate me and my father used to have many years ago before he passed away and the internet was a thing. Bryce, you brought up Nothing But Trouble. David, you brought up The Burbs. My father loved both of those movies, and I really liked them a lot. But sorry, guys, I'm a little fucked up right now.
Shocking.
How
shocking
dare you? Let the man finish. You.
He used to say they're strictly comedies. I told him they're horror comedies, dark comedies, whatever you want to call if you guys could let me know your thoughts on that, that'd be fucking great. One last thing, you guys are fucking awesome, entertaining and great. Everybody that's listening, become a patron. You get extra episodes. It's awesome.
Hell yeah,
but
brother.
Thank you guys. You guys are the best. I love HMT and love you guys.
Dude, I caught
I wish he said who he was. That guy rules.
I caught a little buzz just now. I feel a little contact out here. Dude, The Burbs, definitely a dark comedy in my opinion. I could see how you could definitely construe it as a straight comedy. It's got Tom Hanks, and he's just a general audience's crowd pleaser and has been his whole career. So I can see where your dad's coming from with that, but I mean, that's like horror light, that's like Hocus Pocus. That's your entry level tier of like quote unquote horror for me. That's my argument to be made for The Burbs being horror. What was the title he mentioned that you brought up, Bryce?
Nothing But Trouble.
Nothing But Trouble.
Oh man, that's a kooky movie. If you want to see the limits of Dan Aykroyd's creativity and like the not the limits, but the I'll say limits. Just lots of weird choices made in that movie. But it's unexplainable.
Well, Dan Aykroyd has very high levels of kookiness within him.
Right.
So that's probably something.
I recognize the voice. I can't remember the name of who that is. Longtime patron, though.
Yeah. Well, whoever he is, he's the hero we need.
Right. Was that it?
That was it. So let's get into our final bit, and I'm going to cut it a little short, but here I'm going to get into bad reviews for good movies. We should come up with a theme song for this. Not that
bad reviews for good movies.
Dang, girl,
we just did it.
That may be it, actually.
Clip that.
Clipping it.
Anytime, guys. Anytime.
Clip it. Print. Okay. Okay. So basically, we're going to be reading bad Google user reviews, not critic reviews.
Love it. Even better.
Of the movie, the critically acclaimed 1979 Ridley Scott movie Alien. I think we can all agree Alien is at least a serviceable film, if not a great one. Somehow I lost my document containing the actual good ones that I wanted to read, so I'm just going to go through a few here. Cynthia K says, this is a 1-star review, I wouldn't even give it any stars if I didn't have to, multiple exclamation marks.
Jesus, calm down, lady.
Alien TV is the worst. It's very frustrating when you're watching a program and it keeps freezing up and then comes back on, or just freezes up and you can't get it back at all. I guess you get what you pay for. I will not review.
This is fantastic. So misguided, but still so angry.
This is a service, some sort of service that she thinks she's reviewing. But
this has order corn vibes, like from like old people Facebook.
Mm-hmm. This one's from Saeedis Haksha. Gave it 1 star 4 months ago. Never heard of it. No one has ever mentioned it until I searched up the word alien today. I mean, no one even watches this in my place.
No one even watches it in his place. This is from DVD and Film Bloke. 1 star. It may have been effective back in 1979, but now it has aged as well as milk, with the only exception being the visual effects, which still look absolutely amazing.
So what aged?
It is way too predictable and ticks off every horror cliche in the book. That's because it made them.
Thank you.
There is very little else to the story and the characters that make it worthy of a second viewing. Multiple spelling errors.
I just love the whole, this used to be good, but now that I'm watching it again, it's really predictable.
I remember every part of it.
I remember it. It's predictable. No stars.
I didn't forget.
Did you read Cynthia K or Nina K?
Cynthia.
Okay, so this is from Nina Kologi.
Let's not read their last name.
Well, it's on Google.
Yeah.
All you have to do is Google it.
That's true.
1 star. Garbage movie. So boring. Alien showed up for only 45 seconds and only did jazz hands to scare man with blowtorch. This one actually had a point.
Yeah.
Jazz hands.
This one.
That's a good point.
Is a pretty good point. I can appreciate that.
I think we actually leveled that same accusation. Joshua H says, worst movie, I made a better one in my own backyard. Wish he would show up for more than 3 freaking seconds. A lot of people being angry that you don't get to see the alien a lot. I find it works better when you don't get to see the
Agreed.
thing.
This one's from Allison Hurley. I've never seen this movie, so can someone tell me why it's rated R when it doesn't seem that bad?
You'll find that a lot of Google user reviews are confused about why things are rated the way they are.
Mm-hmm.
Also, there's a lot of confusion about why nudity has to be in movies. There's a lot of comments that just say things like, this is porn. There was a boob or something like that.
And then there's just confusing ones like this. Jada Wills. I'd like it so much. 1.5 stars.
Oh, those are my favorite. The people who are trying to help and they just kick him in the face.
Yeah, I don't.
Poor.
This is my favorite movie. 1 star.
This is my I love this so much. 1 star.
1 star.
Oh. Layla P says, worst movie ever in the whole entire world. It's so bad I want to vomit. From It.
Jesus, Layla.
From It. I wish that it taken don't y'all. It's so bad. It's like
Layla seems a bit dramatic to me.
It's like Addison Rae. She should be helpful in this movie.
Wow. Okay. I found 2 great ones that are short. Shri says, if you pooped in the bushes, the poop would be this movie.
Oh my God.
Succinct? I mean, I don't think I've ever written a review that good on this 3 years of podcasting.
Okay. Now, hang on. Before you read the next one, I'd like to bring something up. We have a lot of poop humor on this show. And I've just noticed that over at Nightlight Horror Movie Club, they do things different. And they don't focus on poop almost at all. And
so just mostly cum?
No, there's no cum either.
Oh.
You'll notice that I said you guys are like our brother podcast. That's not just because you're both male. There's like a bro energy.
I'm so curious to know, like, is it, okay, Kate, is it because you don't find it funny, or is it just like, are you married, or is he your fiance?
Oh, he's my fiance, but like whatever you want to call it.
Does he find poop stuff funny? Is it just us? He doesn't really
I mean,
either.
it is clearly not just you. You guys have like an entire community. So I think that I might be in the minority here. But yeah, we're not like really huge into the poo humor.
See, I just don't get it. I just don't get how anybody couldn't laugh about poop. It's so...
It's not that hilarious to me.
Well,
you poop mouth.
Poop mouth.
Okay, this is another one. This is a great example.
Are we immature?
Light bulb goes off.
Are we so out of touch? No, it's the children who are wrong.
It's the children that are wrong.
This is a great example of a 1-star review. I was barely scary. Oh, no, sorry. It was barely scary. I expected the alien was in the escape pod with her.
They knew it. They figured it out.
I love the spelling. EXPETID. Expected.
Allison H says, I've never seen this movie, so can someone tell me why it's rated R when it doesn't seem that bad? Oh, you read that one already. But she's never seen it. She's never seen it.
I haven't seen it. 1 star.
Yeah.
I think that U, the letter U, Shuod, Wash, an Alien Move, and Richard.
Jesus. Are all these people, like, drunk?
I think they're retired.
Yeah.
A lot of people are retired.
Yeah.
On these
retired?
Yeah, they're the strong retired vibes coming off of these people. Wired M says, was the alien a guy in a costume?
This is for a rating? They wrote this in a rating?
Okay, now hang on. Was the alien a guy in a costume, you guys?
Yeah.
What other options could it have?
I mean, I feel like it's
it was
truth in advertising. It should be an alien, like an actual alien, right?
Why didn't they get a real alien to do it?
Hypocrites.
Yeah, I hate aliens. They scare me. I mean, they are my biggest fear for real. 1 star.
This scary movie was scary.
Yeah.
1 star.
Oh. So there it is. Bad movie reviews for good movies. Guys, gals, thank you so much for listening to the show. We sure do appreciate you. Please, please, please go check out Nightlight Horror Movie Club with Kate and her sister Emma. Kate, tell everybody where they can find you and what they should do to help you guys out.
Of course, yeah. So the Nightlight Horror Movie Club, you can find us on really any streaming platform, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, what have you. We really consider ourselves a club. So if you come and you listen to us, you're a club member. If you are so inclined, feeling generous, want to support us, we do have like an inner circle, which is our Patreon account. And so if you join us at different tiers, like you can become a club secretary or a club treasurer, club vice president. And that gives you voting power. You can vote on what movies we cover. So we would so much love to have you guys over in our club.
Do you get like a secret decoder ring?
Oh shit, we should though.
Woo!
Totally should.
Yeah, you guys, if you had a fun time listening to this review, check out Nightlight Horror Movie Club. They're great. And make sure to subscribe to our show. Toss us a rating. Support the show by heading over to nightchannels.com or shudder.com using code HMT at either one of those and get various results for doing so. You guys have a great week, and we love you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Looking for a podcast full of burps and gas, perverted cast, skinny and fat? Look no further. Horror Movie Talk is accidentally funny, begs to donate money, fake sponsors for dummies, and so much more. New episodes every hump day. They'll pickle your dickle for foreplay. Patreon members have it your way. Vote for a movie every month for the review. Choppa choppa, don't just stare at it, eat it like a taco. Put your tongue through the phone, hoodie, Picasso. Look at them hot kids, swear not a pedo. Got me too'd with Cosby eating jello. Pudding Pops done gave Bryce flatulence. Train addict Dave doesn't give a shit. 1 through 10, is it horrible or excellent? Oil me up, daddy, is dinner rum. Pretend kiss, Bryce Hansen. Look at them hot kids, Chris Henson. Masturbate with a crucifix, exorcist. Face huggers, chest bursters, alien. Linda Blair peed on Sigourney Weaver. I know it's true cause it came from social media. Patrick Bateman can't understand you. Stab you to death for rotten apple reviews. Opinionated podcaster with a doctorate. Spookology, doctor of philosophy. Bad gastritis, need colostomy. Turn Patreons into human centipedes. David Doobie Day, scare him, no expert. And Global fucks hard, professional sexpert. Afterpods, taglines, and porno flicks. American Psycho, them guys pretty sick. Choppa choppa, don't just stare at it, eat it like a taco. Put your tongue through the phone, hoodie, Picasso. Look at them hot kids, swear not a pedo. Got me too'd with Cosby eating jello. Pudding Pops done gave Bryce flatulence. Train addict Dave doesn't give a shit. 1 through 10, is it horrible or excellent? Oil me up, daddy, is dinner rum. Nothing good happens in the woods. always get more than you bargained for. Got a pickle to dickle, machines tickle biddies. Killer on the phone, ain't no sharing stove. Vancouver, Portland, Oregon, and organs. Corona, COVID, curse, Lorona. Green River Killer, because reasons. Hallway of poop monster kids screaming. Ain't your ordinary dingleberry itinerary. 30 days shutter and jump scares ain't fucking scary. Time for the spoilers with jokes and tropes. Use their white socks to catch their loads. Just show them one titty, pretty. Paganism you should worship, they Teflon dicks. Pacific Northwest, let them see one breast. Shifty ass, stay spooky, poor man's digress. Bugsy, HMT, horror movie talk. Hold on, they don't like Halloween. Fuck them.
You come out with stink like that? Poop. Poop mouth. Get out, poop out of your mouth.